Well, hello, boys and girls. It's Mrs. Grames. Happy Friday and happy first day of May. I hope you can tell where I'm at. I'm going to pick up my iPad and hold it around. I am in one of my favorite places today, and I bet you can tell it's the library. Mrs. Grames is at school. And I thought while I was here today, I'd share a story from here. And the book that I want to share with you is about Mother's Day. Mother's Day is coming up next Sunday, which is May the 10th. And on Mother's Day is the day that we should tell all of our mothers how much we love them. And the book that I want to share with you is called The Mother's Day Mice, and it's written by Eve Bunting. The Mother's Day Mice. Biggest Little Mouse wakened first. It was early morning, and it was still almost dark. He tugged gently on the whiskers of Middle Mouse, who slept next to him. "It's Mother's Day," he whispered. "Time to get up and go for our presents." Middle Mouse tugged gently on the whiskers of Little Mouse, who slept between him and the wall. "Mother's Day," he whispered. They crept out of bed, and they tiptoed past Mother's room. Outside, one star still slept in the sky. They stopped to wash paws and faces in the pail of water that Mother kept by the front door. Biggest studied his watch. "We have 2 hours before Mother wakes up. Middle and I know what we're getting for her and where to find it." He looked at Little Mouse and he waited. "I know what I'm getting too," Little Mouse said. "Honeysuckle." Biggest shook his head. "Little Mouse, honeysuckle grows only on Honeysuckle Cottage, and we know who lives in Honeysuckle Cottage. You'll have to find something else for Mother." Little Mouse wanted to argue, but Biggest was already lining them up, one behind the other. "Hold tails and be quiet as we go," he said. "The dark has dangers for little mice." They ran across the meadow. Little Mouse liked the tough, smooth feel of his brother's tail. He thought the three of them, joined together, must be long as a snake. He didn't want to think about snakes, though. The edges of the sky were streaked with morning. A red fox passed them on his way home. They crouched till the white tip of his tail disappeared in the trees. "Grrr," Little Mouse said fiercely. "Who's afraid of him?" But his voice was so weak that he couldn't hear himself. An owl sheared above them as they lay hidden in the long grass. Little Mouse kept his eyes tightly closed. If he couldn't see the owl couldn't see him. "You didn't have to squeeze my tail so hard," Middle Mouse told him when they stood up. "Well, I thought you might be frightened," Little Mouse said. "I was telling you that I was here." Middle Mouse sniffed. A strawberry patch grew at the edge of the meadow. "There's my surprise for Mother," Middle Mouse said. "She loves strawberries. She says the first ones taste of summer coming." Biggest Mouse booted him so that he could get the roundest, reddest berry from the top. Its weight tipped him backwards as he carried it. "My surprise is here too," Biggest Mouse said. He picked a dandelion fluff ball and he held it high by its milky stem. It was a wish flower for Mother. Little Mouse thought the fluff ball was as beautiful as a spinning of spiders' webs. He could see the sky through it. "Mother will love it," Little Mouse said. "Now we can go for the honeysuckle. We have time, and maybe he won't be there." Biggest Mouse sighed. "We'll go look, but only because you're the littlest and it's Mother's Day, and we won't go close. Cat is always there." Cat was there. He lay on the porch of Honeysuckle Cottage, monstrously big, monstrously black. When he yawned, his mouth was his dark, spiked cave. Little Mouse could see it clearly, even though they weren't too close. "Maybe he'll leave soon," Little Mouse whispered. He pulled his eyes away from Cat to the honeysuckle that twined around the porch for Mother. Inside the cottage, someone was playing the piano. The tune was Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. Dum-de-dum-de-dum-de-da, dum-de-dum-de-dum-de-da. Maybe Cat likes to lie in the sun and listen to music, Little Mouse whispered. Maybe the person will stop playing soon and Cat will go away. He sniffed the honeysuckle air. He pretended not to see Biggest Mouse check the time. Dum-de-dum-de-dum-de-da. That person is not going to stop playing, Middle muttered. He set his strawberry on the ground, and a beetle came on the run. Middle picked it up again and shooed the beetle away. Little Mouse began creeping towards the cottage on his belly. Biggest yanked him right back by his tail. Stop that! Anyway, it's time for us to go. What if Mother wakes up on Mother's Day and all of her little mice are missing? Or eaten, Middle added. We have to go, Biggest said. I'm sorry, Little Mouse. But inside Little Mouse's head, something had started to beat. Something wonderful. It was the beginning of an idea. It was something better than honeysuckle. It's all right, Little Mouse said. The sun made a pink path across the meadow as they ran for home. Bring her a daisy, Biggest said over his shoulder. She likes daisies. Bring her a rock, Middle puffed. A small rock that's not hard to carry. They're nice, Little Mouse said, but they're not special enough for this special day. He had something special, though. He had it strong and firm in his mind when they got home. Biggest stood the fluff ball in a jar beside Mother's chair. Middle put the strawberry on a blue dish on the table. I'm glad it didn't roll, he said. Sometimes I wanted to, but I carried it all the way, and it isn't even squished. He glanced sideways at Little Mouse. The strawberry can be from you, too. And the fluff ball will be from both of us, Biggest said. Little Mouse smiled. Thank you, but I brought something of my own. He thought it was funny when his brothers looked all around and then rolled their eyes at each other. Something that I kept hidden, he said. Biggest Mouse had up a warning paw. Shh, Mother's coming. Happy Mother's Day, they all shouted when she came into the kitchen. And Mother said, why, you remembered. Remembered? We almost got eaten 3. Middle began, but Biggest poked him hard. Sometimes Middle talked too much. Mother blew on the fluff ball, and it exploded into a million beautiful, feathery seeds. Did you make a wish? Biggest Mouse asked. Oh, yes, a wonderful wish. Mother cut the strawberry into 4 pieces. I love strawberries, she said. The first one's taste of the summer coming. She nibbled on an edge of a berry and closed her eyes, and Little Mouse knew she was tasting sunshine and sweet corn and the cold waters of the meadow stream. Now me, he said. He was so excited that he thought he might explode, like the fluffed ball, into a million pieces. The music he'd heard at Honeysuckle Cottage was loud in his mind, and he clasped his paws together and he began to sing. He sang the words he thought of as they ran home. We have brought a song to say, happy, happy Mother's Day. No one's mother is so nice. Love from all your little mice. That was wonderful, Mother said when he finished. How astonished his brothers were. They thought he had nothing, and all this time he'd had this. Was it better than honeysuckle, Little Mouse asked. Oh, much better, Mother said. Honeysuckle doesn't last forever, but a song does. Was it the best of all your surprises? And as soon as he asked that, Little Mouse felt mean. The song is from all of us, he added quickly. Mother smiled. All my surprises were lovely. You each brought me something different, and you each brought me something the same. Do you know what that was, Little Mouse? Little Mouse knew. They'd brought her their love. Mother opened her arms wide, and they ran to her. Let's sing Little Mouse's song, she said. Mother and her 3 little mouse swayed together as they sang, and the kitchen was warm with wishes, and summer coming, and music, and love. The end. The Mother's Day Mice is a reading counts book, and it's worth 2 points. Bye-bye now.